Hi, I'm Chef Leo.
Hi, I'm Chef Theo, and this is The Confessions of a Private Chef. Hey, Chef, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I like the way you're looking. We're doing video today, so you're looking into the cameras. Hey, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So today, great guest, good friend. This is a person that I've done business with for a couple of years now, and to watch her start, and I saw one of my first products that she made for me a year ago. I had a story, on Facebook, the way it pops up, and I was like, oh shit, man, she's come a long way. So,
I really have, because I remember that picture, and it's so bad.
It's crazy, but anyways, great week. So we just had a badass guest come in that we had a lot of fun, and now here we are again, man. But to answer your question, yes, I'm doing great. How are you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Did you have a gig this weekend? I saw some great pictures on Instagram.
I did. I had 2 gigs. I had a local that I cook for at least once a month, it seems like, and a group of girls that were doing fantasy football, pick, which was kind of cool. I've never expected a group of girls I think there were 7 or 8 girls that got together, and they were doing their draft pick, awesome. Man. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's been great. I jumped into the whole my guest thing because I'm just so excited to have her here, man. I didn't think she was going to say yes when I invited her, so I was like blown away. So, dude, anyways, we have Kendal. Kendal, say your last name. We don't fuck it up.
Zwingy.
I used to always say Swingy or Swing. So Swingy. Damn.
Swingy.
Yes.
I wonder if your husband got picked on with his last name.
No. But he's always last in everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We will always be at the very end of every single list.
Of course.
So when I say it, like even at bars, like, hey, we want to close out Zwingy, they're like, what? I'm like, the very last one on the list. Just close it out. That's us.
Oh my God. Yeah. Unless they spelled it wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, a Z. That's cool.
Yeah. So Kendal, give us a quick little brief history of your life and your cookie business.
So I was
Little Kendal though.
Little Kendal. Okay. So I was born in San Antonio.
Yeah.
I was there until I was 3, and then we moved to Bernie. And I grew up there until 5th grade. And then my mom moved us to Comfort.
Yeah.
So it's about 15 minutes away from Fredericksburg. If no one has ever been through it, it's a very tiny little town, like 2,500 people. Graduated from there in 2008. And it was actually with, I think, 76 people was my graduating class. Very, very small town. So
did you grow up baking? Was mom or grandma or anything like that?
My mom has always done Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the baking. She always did it. I kind of helped a little bit, but not really. Never saw this in my future.
Really?
At all. No.
What did you see in your future?
Fashion. So that's what I actually went to school for.
I can tell. Yeah, you walk in here.
Merchandising. So I originally went to Dallas to Wade College, which is a small little fashion school inside the Infomart. I did that for a year, and then I actually switched my major to nursing. And then I graduated in 2013 with my LVN. Yeah.
And then you had kids?
And then I had kids, yes. So I actually only ended up working as a nurse for a year. Wow. And then Stanley gave me the option to stay home. Mm-hmm. So I took it.
Of course.
Yes. And so I actually have not done nursing it'll be over 10 years now.
Wow.
That I haven't done it. And I've been staying home with the kids. And then it was actually Scarlett's, my daughter, her 2nd birthday. And we were living in New Braunfels. And that's kind of where all of the sugar cookies, where at birthday parties, that was the thing to have, was the decorated sugar cookies. So I started looking around. There was a place called Two Tarts Bakery. Went there, got a quote for cookies, and they're like, oh, well, it starts at $36 for a dozen. And then it can kind of just go up from there depending on your designs. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not paying $36 for 12 cookies. You're out of your damn mind.
I don't even know what I pay you. I used to say make them, and then it's
you're at 40. You're at 48, which I understand.
That's fine.
Now.
It's what the fuck?
Yes.
I don't know, but I totally get it.
I know. So that's where I was like, you know what? I think I can do this myself. So I went on Pinterest.
Yeah.
I found a couple different recipes, and then I kind of just went from there. And Stanley helped me kind of pick out and help me tweak my recipe. Damn. And I started selling. Yeah, I started selling quickly after that, and I actually started at $25 a dozen. And even then I felt bad because of like looking back now, the pictures where I started, I feel so bad for those people and that they actually paid for my cookies because they were so ugly. But I mean,
No,
obviously you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And then slowly every year I pretty much bring up my cookie cost. And so,
Well, I mean, honestly, you have to be an artist to be able to produce the quality and quantity that you do. I mean, not necessarily an artist to produce the quantity, but at that quality, it's phenomenal. I'm like super surprised that you're doing everything on your own still.
Mhm.
You know, and I think I talked to you a while back. It's like, hey, train somebody, get a high school, you know, and there's like, you don't want to give up. And that's funny because every guest that is doing a successful business, they have ADHD, and they're super like micromanagement with everything they do. They can't give up any part of what they do to anyone else. And when they do, you have to make damn sure that they're better than they are, so they know that the quality is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I don't see you giving anything away anytime soon. Like,
No, absolutely not.
Like,
no.
it's your baby. It's
It
like,
really is. Yeah.
Like, does it help you like relax? Is it your mental like time to just?
Now
or
it's
not?
no, not now. It's a little overwhelming sometimes. I tried to, like this summer, I took a lot of time off and did vacations and spent more time with the kids. And I needed it because I was getting to that point of where I was getting tired of it.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
so I kind of needed to step away a little bit. Now I'm starting to ramp back up with all the fall stuff.
Yeah.
This is the busiest time of year for me, is always this time because it's holiday after holiday after holiday, which is when I make the most cookies.
Dude. I know, and I've been able to work out of your kitchen, and it's like so easy. You know, the workflow, it's like nice.
Yeah,
'cause
I've
when
found my sweet spot of where exactly how
Yeah.
I run it. And, you know, and I actually have, I tell Stanley to help me all the time. And I'm like, hey, I got to wake up really, really early. I actually did try having him help me put eyeballs on some turkeys a few years ago. He quickly got fired.
all crooked and shit. Like,
Well, yeah, they were pointing. I was like, are these devils or like what is this? And I was like, okay, you're fired. So then now he cuts the packaging for me, which really does help during the holiday stuff because I'll wake up at 5:30 in the morning and start packaging everything I did the day before. And so just him cutting off
Any
the
help-
excess,
any help
it
is
really,
good.
really helps. So that's really the only person I will
Stanley.
ever.
poor guy.
Yeah, I know.
And no kids, nothing, huh? The kids don't help you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I get my girls are helping me all the time, so I can't do without them. I'd be in trouble.
Packaging and organization is one thing, because I make pre-made meals for people, and there's a lot of time that goes into that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can produce all the stuff, you know, you get everything cooked, you get everything decorated, garnished, but then there's the element of packaging and organization that will make or break you when people start coming to pick up or you start taking things places. And it's like, it's definitely something that you don't think about until you're in it. And you're like, okay, this is a monster.
Yeah, it's very overwhelming, especially during holiday weeks. Just because you have so many orders. I do 2 pickup places. I have Comfort and Fredericksburg. So trying to make sure that you have the correct people in the correct spots that they're supposed to. And there's just so many different names. It really is. It's overwhelming.
Probably same names sometimes.
No,
you know,
yes,
like,
absolutely.
shit. Oh my God.
Has this ever happened to you where you like get a text or a call and they're like, so we ordered this, but these cookies say this other person's name, or, you know?
Yes, it's happened a couple of times. It actually just happened this last week where I put an extra S on a name, and then they were like, yeah, that's not supposed to be there. And I was like, oh, shoot. So I had to scratch it off, and I tried to cover it up as best as I could. But yeah, it happens every now and then. But at least most people are very nice.
Understand?
And they understand.
Never had an ASO? Have you ever had an ASO?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh God,
Really?
really?
And I refuse to take her cookie orders now. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Or to be able to refuse, you know?
Yeah.
I've never had an ASO.
I've had to fire a customer once before.
Oh God,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Never had issues. Never,
It's just,
been blessed.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Some people you really cannot make them happy no matter what.
So it took you ordering your own cookies to realize that you wanted to make your own because you didn't want to spend that much money on them. And then watching a lot of, I'm sure, YouTube, Pinterest on how, but I mean, you have to be an artist, right? So you have to have technique, you know, a style that you develop. Was that hard? Because I mean, honestly, from my cookie number 1 to my cookies now, it's night and day, right?
Yes.
It's like, wow. I mean, it's like
It really is practice makes perfect at
I
this
don't want to
point.
sound,
Yeah.
I don't sound like a dig, but it was like kindergarten to like.
But really, I mean, whenever you sent me that picture, it's embarrassing. But I mean, again,
I'm gonna post that picture.
No, please don't.
No, but just compare. I think it'd be cool to know, like the viewers, like what are you talking about?
Yeah, this is where
this is how it starts. So I mean, because for people starting and want to start out there, sometimes they may not have the skill right off the bat, but to have the desire and to want to do something like that, if you can install, put that in somebody and get them to just get off their asses and do something to better themselves. I mean, it just takes, like you said, practice, time and practice.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just making cookies, but anything. You want to, just do cakes, or if you want to, woodwork, anything. I think you just gotta approach, as long as you have a desire. If you have a will, then you'll find a way to make it happen, and you'll get better as time goes by. Hopefully it won't take, years, but, if you can improve in something a couple times after making something, then you're on the right path.
Well, and the money helps you get better, right?
Totally.
So you make a great product, and
incentive.
then people start ordering your product, and you're
Right.
like, okay, this is actually going somewhere.
Yeah.
I need to, hone my skills, get better. The constant pursuit of.
And then consistency is a big deal, right? You have to be consistent. And with you, I remember, the first cookies, and then you reached out and say, okay, or you posted something about the recipe had changed a little bit to where I think you were steaming them or doing something to where it was just not your typical sugar cookie. You tasted it and it was like airy, soft. Of course, you get the crunch from the sugar, the design. But the experience of just eating the damn cookie was badass. I was like, fuck, it's like, this is gourmet shit. It's like going to what's in San Antonio, the Baker Lorraine.
Oh yeah,
it's just takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of schooling in most cases. You go to a nice French bakery class and you learn this stuff. You were self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Because I would assume, if I didn't know who you were, that you took professional training to make these cookies, which happen to be the best cookies in Fredericksburg for anyone listening around in the hill country. So, and then what I also love about what you're doing is that you do your own marketing.
Yes.
You do your own, so your brand was just like right off the bat. I mean, of course, you had background in fashion, so you kind of know what looks good and what doesn't. And for me, as being, chef / photographer / artist / it's like, I saw your first post, even if the cookie didn't look great, you made it look good because of the image and, natural light by the window on the table. It's like, wow, this girl's just knocking it out of the park. And she's not even, maybe she doesn't know, maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't know, but you were doing a great job right off the bat,
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of times. I remember when we got started, I told Theo, hey, we're going to do these recipes. I had seen some pictures that Theo had done, and it's like, bro, just shoot by the window, open the window, take them there and do them like that all the time. Right. Mm-hmm. And it takes time to know that, or to get into that habit. But if you go to Kendal's Instagram page, which is Cookies by Kendal, with the S, right? Cookies. Mm-hmm. You can look at these images, and it's like, you'll know what I'm talking about because they're just on point, color, lighting, perspective. Mm-hmm. She I don't know if she knows the rule of thirds. No. So she does it without knowing, which is crazy, and that's impressive. That really is impressive. The rule of thirds is you position everything a third off of your canvas, whatever it is. So if your focal point is, let's say we're looking at a computer screen, the rule of thirds is over here. So if you look at images and pictures, sunrises and stuff, everything is set on third of whatever the canvas is. So now you know. Yeah. Crash course.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be putting more thought into it, whenever you're doing something.
She's like, shit. Now I have to actually think about what I was doing before.
I was doing everything right. Leo just fucked everything up for me. Nothing's going to be the same now. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So
in advance.
Kendal, talk a little bit about, Leo mentioned something about how you change your process. So the cookie that you're producing now is different from the cookie, not just the art, but like the actual vessel of the cookie.
Yeah,
and
I would
you
say
don't want to
a
give
little.
away your secrets. You
no,
don't
a
have
little
to,
bit. Because honestly, and since I've changed it since then, like whenever I started out, I would bake all of my cookies first, and then I would let them sit there and then I would make all my icing, and then I would finally flood all of them and start from there. And then I started watching, there's a girl on Instagram, and she's got a really big following too. And then she had started saying, like, if you end up putting them in a little steamer, it just helps make them like extra soft. And so then I started doing that. And then I started making where all the colors would be done first, and then I would cook them, steam them, and then I would go ahead and start decorating after that. And then it was still taking too much time. So now I'm at the point where I now still make all the colors beforehand, and then the second that they get out of the oven, I go straight to icing them and stuff. And so I think that helps seal in
the steam that's coming out.
Yes, because they're still extremely hot by the time that I'm already flooding them, and then I just stick them in front of the fan. And I mean, it's an all day process that I'm in the kitchen doing it, but that's at least the newest way. It just seems to help me move along quicker.
Right. So does it matter if you do a dozen or 4 dozen, like time wise? I mean, yes, from the decorative part, but the overall project?
I feel like it's easier to do more, honestly, especially if it's of the same exact design. That really helps. If I'm sitting there just doing a dozen cookies, I feel like that takes me even longer.
Because the process of setting up is so much. Your mise en place. You know the term mise en place, right?
No.
Everything in its right place.
Oh.
That's what that means.
It's a French cooking term for whatever station you're running. You want to have your garnish, you want to have your sauce, whatever it is that you're putting on that plate, you want it all within hand's reach so that you can expedite the process quickly and efficiently.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you know a new French term that you can use. They'll fucking me up again in the way to do shit. But literally, you know, you're getting all your colors. You're sending them out. You're doing, you're doing it already. But that's the term that you would use. So if you get invited to any more podcasts and they say, "So what's your mise en place process?" Then you can answer, "Well, this is what I do." It's like, no, you know.
Yes. You're
not going to be like a deer in headlights. Like what? But
so, do you have a favorite design you have done? You have one that you look back on and you're like, man, that one just hit.
I don't know if there's a favorite. I always love doing florals. Those are always a lot of fun, the flowers. And I feel like they're actually very easy for me. They're simple. But I always just love adding them into almost any set that I can because it just really, I don't know, makes it look better.
3-dimensional or drawn? Or
no,
painted?
3-dimensional, yeah. The painting stuff, that's a lot of time.
Is it more time than the 3-dimensional?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because that's where it comes in where that takes hours for the cookie to dry enough to where I could paint something on it, and then you have to let that dry more.
Gotcha.
And then add more to it. That one takes a lot of time.
So how long does it take, like from your mise en place set up to the final packaging? Like when I said, hey, send me 4 dozen cookies. From the time you start.
Then I started normally at around 8 o'clock in the morning, and then normally, hopefully by 4, I'm done. It kind of depends on, again.
Of course, you take breaks.
Well, yeah, because I have to while they're drying, especially whenever, like these, whenever you have to actually write on top of them, they have to be pretty darn dry.
Yeah, you have one that's, you have it flooded, then you've written or you've drawn the chef knife, and then you go above that and put my name on it with 3-dimensional, like the black icy. I mean, the stuff looks like you're doing it with a damn marker, but it's 3-dimensional. That's crazy. I mean, because it's, man, it's hard to explain it. I mean, I can show up to the camera, but what I'll do is I could actually hold it like right here because of the focal point. Next to Kendal's head. No. So it's like there's so much the curvature, like, what would you call it? Calligraphy?
Yeah.
It's like perfect. And you're doing it with a bag holding it in an awkward position, right? Because you don't write like a pen.
No, it's just, all with the bag. But I also use a projector.
Oh, yeah.
Now, because I'm also anal about that because if it doesn't, if it's not perfect, then it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
That's a cool little tidbit of information. You actually use a projector to project the image and then you trace over it?
Mm-hmm.
That's badass.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of new technology on that for, just overall, like artists for painting and stuff. And I think that's badass because it just takes a lot of, like when I'm painting stuff, I mean, I have the picture on the TV, I got my easel next to it, and that's the way I do it. Now, that's if I'm doing something that has to represent whatever. But if I'm doing something like, the heart that I did or the peach, out of my mind, doing it that way. You don't have projects where you just think about it and say, okay, I'm going to do a cookie. And this is
on some of them I can do by myself without a projector, but
the most part, consistency is what is key for you. That's badass.
How much butter do you go through?
I've seen your shop.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably where most of your cost is, the butter,
Yes, because actually whenever I started, the exact same butter that I use now, it started at 68 cents a box, and now it's $1.42.
Wow.
Which is a lot of part of, every
inflation.
single year I have to increase, which yes, it really sucks. But you have to.
But people they don't shy away from the price because they know it's worth it because of the quality and the product that you're getting. It's just, it's a great product. But yeah, I've seen her at HEB pulling, and it's funny because she's tiny for everyone to look. I mean, she's sitting a little higher than us right now. So yeah, it's made up for the height. But how tall are you?
5'7".
5'7"? Mm-hmm. Huh? We're the same height. Oh, then maybe she's not that tiny.
I'm actually tall, yeah.
But I've seen her like pushing her cart with like tons of big bags of flour, and sugar, and stuff, and it almost looks like she has to lean into it quite a bit. Now, I mean, do you not do like Benny Keith or Cisco or anything like that?
No, I've tried actually going to like Sam's and getting bulk, but it's the butter. It started tasting different to me, and that's what like everyone. This is what everyone loves about my cookies is how they taste.
Yep.
So I ended up just
every time?
I just go to HEB because I've got my specific brands that I like to stick with, and that's what I use.
That's what I do. Cool. I mean, I have to do HEB. I can't do. So.
So your icing, is it like a buttercream? What is it?
No, it's royal icing.
Oh, it's royal icing. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so you go through a lot of butter. I'm sure you go through a lot of sugar.
Yeah. A lot of flour.
Mm-hmm. Wow, dude.
How many pounds do you think you go through a week? Oh, let's just say flour.
Well, I get those big Texas size ones, and normally, like on a good week, I'll probably almost go through almost a full one, and I think that's 25 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I think.
So how many cookies can you make with 25 pounds of flour?
That's normally at least like 25 dozen.
So let's do the math, people. 25 times $45. This is what she does on the weekend.
Then again, like, it kind of depends. I try to keep all my cookies around like 3.5 inches big. Yeah. So it also depends on how I can get more out with certain designs because they're smaller. Some of them are bigger.
Right.
It all just depends on the designs.
Yeah, and the size of the cookie.
Yeah.
Dude, that's still quite a bit.
Yeah.
You really do work your ass off for those cookies.
So Kendal, one of the things I noticed from your Instagram too is that you're doing a great job with your marketing on there. So was there a learning curve with the marketing aspect of what you do? How did you get the word out that you were doing this to people? Was it just kind of word of mouth? We like to talk about marketing on the podcast.
Yeah, totally.
And I kind of wanted to kind of know like what your standpoint was on that.
Yeah. It all started, word of mouth, honestly, because it was just since I started at my daughter's party, friends, family, they started ordering. And then I actually went, whenever we lived in New Braunfels, they had a specific page for the neighborhood that we had. And I just started posting on there and then posting on Facebook if people wanted some. And then I started, the Instagram. And I actually didn't start this like being an official business until maybe 4 years ago. Just because then I finally started getting businesses here in town that wanted to buy like 10 plus dozen, and they needed to actually pay me as a check to Cookies by Kendal. So then I actually had to open up a bank account, do an LLC, like all the things. Before then it was just, I have to cover my ass. You never know with some people.
You never know.
You really never know.
Yeah. Got sick,
well, that's your own damn fault.
Is there any almonds in it? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Do you do anything other than your regular flour? Do you do like almond cookies?
Yes, gluten-free, which they are actually 10 times better than my regular sugar cookies, honestly. But they take a whole lot more time to make. They're extra, like extremely sticky, extremely fragile.
They're like $65, $70.
54.
Oh, that's cheap still compared
or 56, 54 or 56.
So you're gonna do.
They're normally about $6 more a dozen than the regular sugar cookies.
You can go up $10, you'd be fine.
Yeah. But they really are so good.
It's a huge market, the gluten-free market.
Yes.
I'm doing that next order. Just put me down for that.
Yeah. It's amazing how in the past couple years, I work with a lot of clients because we provide family meals for people, that they put for their family. And a lot of people are moving away from the gluten aspect of things. Now everybody's still, even the people that I have that are like extremely gluten free, they're like, oh, I'm gonna have a cheat meal, But regardless, I think there's a real big push into that market. So that's cool that you do that.
Yep.
Because I don't ever know. I've known a few people who kind of are in this space, and I've never met anybody that did that yet. So that's cool. That
Have you
offer
attempted to do any type of sugarless, like cookies?
I have tried that one time for a lady, and it was so difficult to make for me. So I just have said no. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, 'cause there's a lot of diabetics out there that would love. There's I think there's one cookie, chocolate chip cookie that's no sugar at HEB, and it's pretty good. You just tried it, being on a diet and like right there, borderline diabetic. I'm like, dude, I can't have any more sweets. So what do I do? And I loved your cookies, and it's like, dude, it'd be so badass if I can just have sugarless cookies. I mean, it's impossible with the damn, the art.
Yeah.
That makes
But
it
I
really
tried it, and Stanley did too, and I was like, this tastes like shit.
lame.
But then the lady was like,
Play-Doh.
oh my God, they're so good. And I was like, well, I mean, at least you like them, but this is terrible.
Well, I mean, if someone grows up with very little sugar in their system, and, anything, it's like, oh my God, it's mind blowing when they have a little bit of sugar. So, I mean, just being used to something all your life, and keep on eating the same shit, then I'm sure it was good for her.
Yeah.
You should try it again. I'm just curious.
No, thanks.
God
I'm good.
damn it.
So I was also seeing that you do classes where you teach
Yes.
people to do what you do. Kind of talk to us a little bit about the difficulty / reward of teaching people your craft.
Let's see. So I think I started that almost whenever we moved to Fredericksburg, probably almost 5 years ago. And I actually started at, there's a winery here in town, Safari Winery. I was friends with the owner, and I had always thought it would be fun. And they kind of reached out and were like, would you ever think about doing this? I'm like, sure, why not? So I started doing that, and I would get about probably 25 people a class, which is fun. There's a lot of prep work that goes into it. But it's always so fun to see everyone, because then you realize what you're actually paying for. And that's honestly the biggest part at the very end of it. They're like, I understand where this is now, why it costs so much. And thank you so much.
Just send me the cookies next time.
Yeah. So then, that's nice that they realize, there's a reason why I charge so much money for each of them. Because there's a lot of detail work and drawing that goes into it. It really is fun. There's been, I guess the hardest part about it is then you have people that come in and say that they're just here to learn. And then all of a sudden they start their own.
There's the pitfall of that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so that was, I actually did where she asked me to come to their house. I did a private class. And then all of a sudden you start seeing all these posts of her doing cookies in her town. And I'm like, wow. Okay. Yeah. I taught you that. You're welcome.
Well, I mean, in a way it sucks, I guess, in certain aspects, but don't you feel kind of like good about being an inspiration and being,
I guess now, but at the point I felt it was kind of more of like a stab in the,
that she stole your craft that you worked so hard to learn.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
I'm like, I gave you all the details on how to do certain things. And then there you go.
I offer a consulting service, and it's like, I'll teach you exactly everything I do, the way I do it, step by step. I'll teach you everything if you pay for it. So in a way, she was doing that, but at the same time, it's like, just because you teach somebody something, and they have the desire to do it, doesn't mean that they're going to do exactly what you do and how you do it, because the process could be the same, but it's just the way you go about it that makes a big difference, right? So it makes, like, take making paella for an example. It's simple recipe. It's a simple recipe, simple ingredients, but the process and stuff to do it, if you don't get something just to right, if rice isn't toasted enough, if things are just not put in a certain way, it makes a big difference. So for you, there's a number of things. Even taking consideration, when I went to culinary school, every oven is different. Elevation makes a big difference.
It's true.
People don't know, like, okay, well, you live in Houston, all the humidity, all the stuff. You can tell somebody to bake something for 35 minutes, 20 minutes. Doesn't matter. If your elevation is different, if the humidity is different, if, it's just the oven, the type of oven, everything makes a difference. So, I mean, you can teach them night and day exactly how to do it, but they're not going to be cookies by Kendal.
Yeah.
You know, so you got a market, you know, that really no one can take away. So, I mean, there's something to, I mean, I would be proud that, you know, somebody took and ran with it. It's like the biggest way of giving somebody
What do they
the
say?
ultimate.
What is it? It's replication is the biggest form of
Flattery?
Yeah, flattery.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, totally.
Let me ask you this: is the said person still doing
Nope.
this?
Not anymore.
So you're like, yes.
Well, they didn't realize how much actually went into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
First order, probably she was good, great money. And then after that, it's like, fuck this. It's
Yeah.
much work.
it's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Let's hope that you get more people that want to run with your concept. I think it might be cool. Good. I love when someone else comes into the scene and doing the same stuff, because it just helps the community, helps everyone else like grow. Because now you have a standard you gotta meet, you know. So they have to know if you're doing it this well, you better be better. You're just as good, right? So with cookies like that, it's the same thing. If you buy a cookie and if it looks great, but you take a bite of it and it's like shit,
Yeah.
then it's not all about, you know, the looks, about, you know, at it. And of course the relationship you build with the person making the cookies make a big difference as well. So I mean, I've seen a lot of Instagram posts with different people making cookies, and I haven't tried any of them simply because I know Kendal. I know her personality. I know what she's about. And if she was making something else, like now in front of me, I have this beautiful round, you know, piece of sourdough bread that I just wish I can tear into, but I won't do it because it's not. I need to wait. I can probably just have a little piece of it. I'm not supposed to be eating carbs, but it's like I'm going to support 100%. You know.
Yes.
And so I think it's badass, especially if she's local, you know.
100%.
So even though she's from Comfort.
I'm not that far away.
Wait, so do you live here? So you live here in Fredericksburg?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's really cool.
Really is pick at this right here.
Just do it.
God. Oh God. Big.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So are you So you brought us this beautiful loaf of sourdough today. So are you going to expand your baking business at all?
I mean, I've thought about it. I really have, just because I've gotten to the point of almost getting a little burnout with cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And I obviously cannot just sit still. So I've always wanted to do sourdough. It has taken me a while to figure it out. But now I feel like I've finally gotten to that point where every single one that's coming out of my oven, I'm very excited about.
Consistent?
And it looks, yes, it's consistent. So at least this is the third round that has been consistent. So it makes me happy. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided because I don't really know how many I could get done. Right now, this is only 2 of them a day, and I feel like it's a lot. And so like the people that do this for a living, you know, they probably have their
and recipe
their
amounts.
shutdown.
Yeah, then you got to reformulate your recipes to do a larger amount.
Yeah.
Right, and of course you need to let it proof, so you need a big rack where you can put an X amount of bread. I mean, it's a lot of work. I would love to try one of these, like with sunflower seeds or cranberries, or like.
That's my next. Yeah, is to put some cranberries in it because yeah,
for the
I love it.
sweetness of it.
With some goat cheese?
Oh, dude. Heck yeah. So next time we have Kendal, she's going to bring cranberries. I'll have the goat cheese and bring out the wine. We broke out the beer today, but so far, I mean, this looks amazing. So I can't wait to see what comes out of it. Or, you know.
What is the most cookies you did in one day / night?
In one day, I want to say 28 dozen. And that's during a holiday week. I will easily bust out 120 dozen normally in 1 week during a holiday.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy money.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's why that's why I keep doing this.
Yeah.
Is because this is my fun money.
Yeah, mama needs a new bag.
It's a fashion money.
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm like, Stanley, you are welcome because you're not having to pay for all the shit that I want.
Oh, dude, I can imagine.
Yeah.
You have a closet full of bags and shoes that you just buy up with your cookies.
Yeah.
Cookie.
Yeah. It's everything I wear. It's all cookie money. Yeah.
Nice.
Fueled by sugar.
Cookie money. Yeah. Her white stuff.
So, does that include like some all-nighters?
Normally I'll start at probably maybe 4:15, 4:30 in the morning. packaging everything that I did, especially like before. And then I pretty much transfer everything. We have a formal dining room that never gets used. And so I put all the cookies, and I basically just cover up my entire 9-foot table with cookies and boxes. And then after about 5 days of me busting out that many cookies, then there's one specific day that I will just sit on the floor and I go through every single order, packaging, getting everything boxed up and ready, calling everyone, making sure that they're ready to pick up, that they've sent their payment. It's a lot of work. That's probably the worst part of it all, is boxing it and then reaching out to everyone. I'm like, I feel like it's easy on holiday weeks. I do pre-orders. So 2 weeks earlier, I will get a specific design and I'll come up with probably 3 or 4 different options. Mm-hmm. And then that's the only thing that they can pick from. I try not to do, actually, I don't do customs anymore during that point, because I did before and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So now I shut it off to where it's just those pre-orders during it, and it helps me get through them so much faster because it's the same exact design, and I'll basically be doing 5 to 10 dozen of each one of those designs depending on how much I sold.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like those special orders are the ones that, it's like almost like when you're doing this mass quantity of this one design, and then like you have that one special one that you need to get to, it's like, it always seems like that one is like the magnet for anything that could go wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like anything that could go wrong and just happen right there, So you learn that, and then you, like you said, you come to a new process where you're like, it's just all the same.
Yes. Yeah.
Just choose from this, choose from that, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's why my menu hardly ever changes, man. I don't want any of those.
Dude, that's the beauty of what you do, Leo. It's like it's you got it down, you know exactly how much it's going to cost, mm-hmm. and you know how to execute it and still have a nice beverage with your clientele.
Totally, and a cigar.
You know what I mean? And a cigar.
Yeah, yeah. So have you ever had a freak accident where it's like you make a shitload of cookies and all of a sudden you pick them up, you're walking out and you drop them and you break them, and it's like, oh shit.
Maybe, actually, I guess there has been a couple times, but and that's what I love about these royal icing. It takes a lot to break them. And I mean, on some of these with the little bitty writing, those are more that will chip off. But as far as breaking the cookie, it takes a lot.
Yeah, and you seal every single one of these.
Your heat shrink.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, pain in the ass.
I feel like it's easy. I have like a little heat sealer. It makes it really... It goes fast.
I'm opening up one right now because I figure I need to share with Theo. He's never had one.
No, dude, I never had.
Well, then I want to hear your honest opinion. I love hearing what people think.
I'm breaking up the one with Chef Leo. I'm going to break it in half. And see, I mean, you broke it in half. You can put it back together, and you can still see like it never broke. But it's a clean break, which is cool. And it's crazy because you break it, and there's this. You can feel the softness of the cookie, which is crazy. And I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm still
eat it.
Fuck it, right? It's like
it's a sugar rush for sure,
dude. Now I'm gonna die because of the cook. No.
Please don't die.
No, it's badass. I mean, and you look at the sugar. There's like air pockets. Mm-hmm. It's smooth on the outside. But inside of even the sugar, you have these little air pockets that create this lightness of it. It's not like you're eating fondant or something that it's like you have to chew at it. It cracks, breaks, and then it like melts.
Yes.
And it's all even.
That's all the butter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So fucking good, man.
Yeah.
Orgasmic.
Have you ever like burnt some cookies?
Oh yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's been times that I completely forget to set an alarm, and then all of a sudden I'm in the middle of doing the other ones, and I start smelling. I'm like, shit, oh my god. Like, here I go again. And then it just pisses you off, especially if you're at the very end of it and you're on like your last dozen or 2 dozen, and you've already put all the rest of the butter away, because the butter has to be set out for so long for it to be easier to work with. So then if I start putting things away and I've already used up pretty much all my dough, and then that happens, I get angry.
Yeah, there's no shortcut to perfectly softened butter. There's no
Sleeping.
No,
I mean,
I've tried sticking it in the microwave,
No,
and then that
no.
just it ends up being a mess. So you just have to basically, the second I wake up in the morning, I'll just go ahead and stick out what I need for that day, because as soon as I drop the kids off at school, I come back and I start working.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. There's no shortcut. No shortcut to soften butter.
I mean, I guess in a perfect world, if you lived in a perfect climate area or had a room regulated with temperature at 78 degrees,
yeah, maybe like a humidor or something.
Exactly. Yeah, then maybe.
But then your humidor would smell like butter and
Yeah.
not like good cigars.
Like these people that have these cheese rooms, same thing with butter.
Oh, yeah,
That'd be
dude.
cool.
Hell yeah.
Be cool to have something like that. Maybe that's your next project. Have a butter room. Like a
She's
closet.
She's like, I'll take the handbags and the.
Yeah,
the
I don't really
clothes.
want to spend my money on that.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
So, Kendall, do you have any? So we have a little bit of your sourdough here. What are your future plans? Are you going to continue this cookie business, or what are you thinking?
I honestly have not decided.
really.
Yeah. I haven't opened up a calendar yet for next year because of that. I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do. I don't think I'll ever stop making them, but I might just scale back of maybe just doing holiday orders to where once a month, that's what I do. But I'm still deciding. And then if I don't end up doing it, I really don't know, because I cannot sit at the house and do nothing. I'll want to do something.
I see Kendall like the next. Oh my God, what is that famous baker? She's a French baker, man. I can't. But I see like
Nancy Silverton.
yes, private labeling, like doing flour, doing sugar, and I would be cool, sell your cookies, but have Kendall's flour, Kendall's whatever. There's a show in Chicago. They do a private label show every year. You might want to check out. This is me giving you professional advice. So if it's something that comes out of it, you can always say, "Hey, Leo, I need a partner." I think private labeling something like that would be really cool, because people, once they have the cookie, they're gonna want to know. It's like, what's the secret behind the flour? What's it, So it's finding the right flour, and then saying that whoever makes it, putting your label on something like that. It's easy, and even if you have your own cookie mixture, would be really cool. So I mean, you work less, work smarter. Sell a product, even if it starts just online.
Yeah.
And then see what comes out of it. Hire a broker and just put it into like HEB, Central Market. I think you would make bank, and it would be so easy. And of course, you sell. You would sell the product with no problem. So think about that. I mean,
I will.
so next time somebody says, "Hey, where do you see yourself?" I see myself making a instant cookie mix with selling it out in major grocery stores in 10 years. That'll be us, Kendall.
Yeah.
Not just you.
It's the power of the spoken word, man.
Dude, I know. Now
Speak
it's
it
gonna be
into
now.
existence.
Yeah, she's gonna go home. She's gonna get laying down in bed. It's like, fuck, Leo. Can't believe how I'm thinking about. And it's like, Stanley, come on, figure it out. He's gonna do all the work for you. But
Cool.
remember, I want 2%.
Got it.
All right, just 2%.
Just two.
Yeah, that works.
So, Kendall, it's been a pleasure having you on today and getting to know a little bit about your story. Every episode we kind of talk about, we shoot around the idea of a recipe that we like to produce.
We never get around to, but we
I
need
know,
to.
We need to.
Yeah.
But
Got so many to catch up on.
is there anything that inspires you in food? Maybe that's not a cookie. It could be a cookie, but is there one dish that you like to make at home for your family, or one thing that you've had maybe at a restaurant recently? You're like, man, that was solid. That was really good.
I didn't want to make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably not. I'm one of the people that use HelloFresh,
Oh, that's cool.
It's okay.
and I have been for 3+ years now. And that because I'm in my kitchen all day long, and honestly, it's the last place that I kind of want to be at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Is cooking and trying to figure things out, and plus, trying to figure out a menu.
So what's your
so we
favorite meal that you
yeah,
have from
HelloFresh.
HelloFresh?
Shoot, we love anything with all the pastas and rice dishes. I don't think there's really anything that has been our
That's different,
favorite. No.
You're making it hard. I was gonna say, let's mimic a HelloFresh
Oh yeah.
recipe. Dinner.
Yeah.
If you tell me what's been your favorite, then it's like we can bounce that off and say, okay, well, you do your version, I'll do my version of HelloFresh.
There's maybe it's a pecan crusted chicken, and then it's a salad with apple slices.
So it's the chicken goes on top of the salad or not?
No.
But it might be cool.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Okay, so let's do a combination
Okay.
and see.
Okay, let's do a combination and see.
Yeah, either with or without the salad. But I think, it'll work like a great salad. It almost sounds like a fall salad.
Oh yeah.
It's chicken. It could almost be an entree or
Pecans and apples. Very
Yeah.
fall.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds good. Might have to go on the menu if it comes out pretty good.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So
Do I get 2% of that too?
Yeah. Only if I can sell it to the national market. Yeah, you can get it. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be pretty badass. Okay, there you go.
Cool.
We got to remember that.
Well, Kendall, thanks for coming on. and
Thanks for having me. This has been fun.
And
Thank you for your cookie knowledge. And yeah, man, you're helping the butter industry too. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, well, a lot of it.
You should get 2% of that.
The
you
cow,
know? There you
the
go.
beef industry. You're helping a lot just by using that
know.
butter.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
So it's gonna be badass. Well, thanks for coming over and
Yeah.
hanging out with us.
Yeah, this is
buddy.
fun.
It's been cool. I'm glad to have more cookies. God. So if somebody wants to order, and look for you, what's the best way to do it, and how soon do they have to order to get it, and how long is it going to take once they order?
So I have Facebook and Instagram. Both of them are under Cookies by Kendal. Kendal. I know there is another person actually in Fort Worth that I have been getting mixed up with, but she spells, I want to say it's Kyn.
And she does cookies too.
Yeah, and it's Cookies by Kendal too.
that's
And I'm like, I know.
Can you like?
So
who
it's
had
really-
it-
it's
who had
actually
it
annoying.
first? Who had it first?
I did. I mean, I've been
then
doing
I
this
would be
for
like a stop
almost
and
8
assist.
years.
Yeah.
And
Get
so,
your lawyer on that, girl.
yeah. And I'm like, and yeah, I have the LLC. I have all the things for the business. So yeah, I've had people where they're like, I put in an order with you. And I'm like, no, you didn't. They're like, yeah, well, where can I pick up? And then, or they ask
Houston?
me. And yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm in Fredericksburg. They're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't actually need this order. I'm like, okay, that's great. So yeah, you can do Instagram, Facebook. I've got the messenger on there. I try not to give out my cell phone just because I've got mom brain. So anytime that someone calls me, I obviously don't answer unless I know them. And then I'll end up reading it. I'll read the message or I'll listen to it. And then I forget to
Your answer.
answer
If not,
them.
I mean, you should just try Google.
So-
that Google phone number. You know about?
No.
Yeah, you just go to Google if you have Google email already, and you can sign up for their phone number, and you can have it transferred to your phone, and it's free.
Oh, that's cool.
And it rings. It can ring differently, and when you answer it, it tells you you're getting a phone call from whatever the person's name is,
No.
and that way you don't miss out on business if that's because
Yeah.
I mean, if you're old school and if you don't have social media and somebody gives this old lady your number, you're missing,
Yeah.
obviously.
For the most part, everyone's good at using the messenger on both of them. And then as far as timing, at least 6 weeks out.
Damn.
Maybe sometimes 2 months, especially like during fall. Like right now I'm fully booked until I think there's 1 week that's open in October, maybe one in November, December. It's always just crazy just because there's so many holiday parties. So I feel like every single week, it's basically just Christmas themed ones the entire.
So
and I
you're
really
pretty much you're doing it for orders. You're not doing it for really a business. Have you thought about maybe all the wineries, having a
Well,
sell your cookies?
I can't. No one can legally
Oh, no?
resell my cookies since I do it out of. I'm under the cottage law.
Right.
So
Only you can sell
since everything is out of my home kitchen and the Texas department doesn't come.
inspect it.
Yeah,
Can't do that.
yeah. So I
thought-
actually did for a while with someone here in town. And I did that for probably 2 years. And then the health inspector finally said, like, even though I had all my ingredients on there, they're like, you really need to be making this out of a kitchen
Commercial
because the law that I was under just recently changed. And then I kind of looked into going through it, actually renting out a kitchen here in town. They wanted $300 a day.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. And
That's
so
good
then
to know.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like I would have to make so many cookies every single day that I was there to make it make sense. And it just didn't.
Wow.
So I ended up not going through that route. But yeah, I've had wineries want to do it. And I'm like, I mean, you can buy them and you can give them out for free. But as far as reselling, you can't.
Because of
No.
reason. We'll figure a way.
Yeah.
If there's a will, there's a way. That's cool. Well, now that's how you get a hold of Kendal. So follow her.
And get your orders in now is what I'm.
Yes, if
Yeah,
you want anything for
totally.
the fall, give it to me now. Put your orders in.
That sounded good. And then, so make sure you follow her, like her stuff, leave her comments. Do the same thing with us, guys. And remember, this is we're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, pretty much any source of software that you use to listen to your music. You can find Confessions of a Private Chef and leave us a comment, leave us a like. And also now on YouTube, we've recorded this on video. So you can see the bread, you can see the cookies, you can see Kendal. And I mean, not so much us. Who cares about we're ugly, man? But I mean, we have some pretty good looking guests. So,
Absolutely
check them out.
for us.
Yeah. Just, but we're going to put some, those blurred out things in front of our faces first. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, listening. Kendal, again, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And brother, it's always a pleasure.
Oh, you too, my
hanging out
friend.
with you, brother. So,
You too, Chef.
all right, guys, we'll talk to y'all soon. Ciao.
Bye.